So we're trying to get into the Christmas spirit over here. Yes, it's that time of year again. It's kind of hard to believe. Oh look, and Nola is wearing his Christmas sweater. Doesn't he look handsome in his Christmas sweater? Hello, baby. He was actually taking up so much of the couch that I had no place to put my butt. But he moved. You moved. Thank you for moving for me. Hi everyone, it's me, Jess. I don't know if you can see my antlers, but I'm wearing them and they have little bells. So it's already that time of year again for the Reindeer Readathon. This is going to be my 4th year, if you can believe it, participating in the Reindeer Readathon. I have Reindeer Readathon content for 2021, 2022, 2023, and now 2024. So for those of you who don't know about the Reindeer Readathon, it is a yearly readathon hosted by Erik from Break Even Books and a whole bunch of other co-hosts that he has included. I'm not going to name them all because I don't actually know them all. I will leave all of the information linked in the description box below. It is a very, very fun readathon for the holidays. In fact, it seems to be that thing that puts me into the holiday spirit because I haven't been feeling at all like the holidays or festive or anything like that yet. Whenever I have to choose my TBR for December and the Reindeer Readathon, it gets me in the holiday spirit, which is so, so nice. So thank you, Erik, even just for that alone. Then on top of it, we have this super fun readathon. You can participate still. You have to sign up using a Google form, which again, I will leave linked in the description box below. When you sign up, you will be assigned to a team. And I'm not sure how many teams there are. For 2 years running, I was on Team Candy Cane. Last year, I was on Team Nutcracker. I'm on Team Nutcracker again this year. So 2 for 2 there. I think I've only been on a team that has won once. The idea is that you choose books out for the prompts that are provided. There is a prompt for every reindeer, and I will go over those and my choices in just a moment. And there are points attached to each of those reindeer prompts. Every time you finish a book, you submit your completed book and the number of points to the organizers, and they will add those points to the team's cumulative points, and the team with the most points at the end of the month wins the readathon. And I think there are some also select prizes this year. Head on over to Erik's announcement video if you want to know more. So let's go over my choices for the prompts, and then I will talk about some other books that I would like to read this month. Beginning with Dasher. Dasher's prompt is worth 10 points. It's to read a book that is recommended to you on social media or is a list recommendation. YouTube, Goodreads, Google. So of course, I feel like almost all the books that I read are recommended to me either through another booktuber or through a list like one of the prize lists. So this time, instead of choosing something from one of the prize lists, which I'll get to in a moment because I am reading something from the prize lists this month, I decided to look at some of the best books of the year lists that have started to be published. It's that time of the year where different publications publish their best books of the year list, and I came across Time's best books of 2024, and as I was looking through this list, I got very excited because one of the books that I talked about in my last video that I'm really looking forward to reading sooner rather than later was on the best books of the year list for Time magazine. I will leave that list linked in the description box below. The book that I've chosen that's on this list is The Most by Jessica Anthony. It's set in the late 50s and it's about a woman. So she leaves her 2 sons and her husband as they go off to church, which she would normally do. This is all I know about this book. And then she goes for a swim in the swimming pool and she doesn't come out. It takes place over 8 hours. It piqued my interest and I'm really curious. Haven't heard that many people talking about it, so I really wanted to read it before the end of the year. And the fact that it was on one of these lists for best books of 2024 has added to my excitement about reading this one. So this is my choice for Dasher, for the first prompt of the Reindeer Readathon. The second prompt is for Dancer. It's worth 15 points. And it is to read a book genre that you feel matches your favorite music genre. Well, this was not an easy one. I kind of struggled with this because I think the reason being just that I like a lot of different types of music. I like pop music. I like some kinds of rock music. I used to like punk music. I like classical music. You could use this for reading a classic if you like classical music. I'm kind of off classics for the moment. I don't know, I'm just taking a little break. Read a lot of classics this year. And so I've actually just fit the prompt to suit the book that I would like to read. It has such a cool punk rock vibe. It's going to be a reread for me. And that is Jennifer Egan's A Visit from the Goon Squad. Look at the cover. The cover is so punk rock. I'm telling you, I picked this up in the UK in the airport on my way home, and I'm just really excited to reread this. I really don't remember it. My daughter read it this past year for school. I almost read it for the college reading vlog, which by the way is almost finished in editing and will be coming to your inbox soon. Yeah, I am really excited to reread this. I don't think that Remember December is happening this year. I searched and searched for announcement videos. Shelly, let me know if Remember December is happening this year. I kind of thought it was, so I was keeping that in mind for rereads, but I'm not sure that it is. I haven't seen an announcement video. Last year, Shelly hosted a readathon for December called Remember December, where you reread books. And like I said, I'm not sure if that's happening again this year or not, but if it was, this would be one of my choices for Remember December. I'm so happy that there is a prompt that connects your music taste to your reading taste. I think that's such a cool idea. Is that Eden? Sweetie, I'm filming a video. Where were we? I was just talking about Jennifer Egan's The Goon Squad.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Third prompt, Prancer, worth 10 points. Read a book where the synopsis mentions a named special event or date. So the book that I chose for this is a book that I have out from the library, and my one concern is that I think somebody else has it on reserve and I have to return it, which is concerning to me because I don't have another choice for this and I really want to read this book. So the book that I'm referring to is one that I spoke again about in my last video. It's Catalina by Carla Cornejo Villavicencio. Hope I'm saying that correctly. So this is the story of Catalina, who has immigrated to the United States from Latin America. She's raised by, I think, her undocumented grandparents in Queens. And she gets into Harvard, and it's about the experience of families who have immigrated to America, whether they be, well, in this case, undocumented or not. And I think it unravels. So I think it's a satire of academia, but it's also a pretty stark look at the experience of a very talented young woman who is so talented that she gets into Harvard, but that maybe whose status is in jeopardy, whose family status is in jeopardy. I know she gets involved with someone at Harvard who's an anthropologist, who is ironically studying Latin America, which reminds me a little bit of that was part of the story of And Then She Fell. This just sounded really good to me. It's one that I've been wanting to read since I saw it listed on a books to watch list from the Globe and Mail. And the reason that I chose this for this prompt is because the specific ceremony that's named in the synopsis is graduation. So if I have to return this and I'm not able to get it back out from the library, I might have to sub something else in, but this is the book that I really want to read, so I've managed to fit it into this prompt. The next prompt is Vixen. It's to read a book that you did not buy. So a book from the library. So for example, the book I was just talking about was from the library. So it could be anything really from the library. I also have evenings and weekends out from the library, which I started. It's very, very good, but guess what? Somebody else wants it. It's on reserve. So if I don't finish it quickly, I might have to return it. This is the only issue with library books that are popular. So we shall see. I might be able to read this one for this prompt. But another option for this prompt would be to read a book that was borrowed from a friend or given to you by a friend. And last year for the college reading vlog, I was toying with the idea of reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and never got to it. It was a book that my daughter really enjoyed and she loaned to me. And so that is a possibility as well. I think it'd be a really fun book to read. I'm going to be finished my semester and it's lighthearted, not so serious, and I think it'd be really fun. So I'm probably going to read this one for that prompt. So Vixen, that one is worth 15 points. I don't know why I tell you guys the points. It's not like you're adding them up. Or are you? She's trying not to laugh at my bad jokes. The next prompt is for Comet. Also 15 points. Read a book that ends... Okay, this is a weird... This was not an easy prompt, guys. Erik. Comet, 15 points. Read a book that ends on the last digit of the day of your birth. So, for example, my birthday is on the 26th. So the last digit of the day of my birth is a 6. So I had to go through all the books that I wanted to read and try to find one whose last page ends with a 6. I was only able to find 2 books that actually fit. They're 2 books that have been in my recent TBRs. One was in my Pile for Nonfiction November, which I haven't gotten to yet, and the other one is a book that I wanted to read before the end of the year that I talked about again in my last video. So the nonfiction book is Superfan by Jen Sukfang Lee. I really want to read this, so it's a strong contender, and it does in fact end on page, I can prove it to you guys, it ends 256. So that's a possibility. And the other one is A Council of Dolls. I talked about this in my last video, like I said, and this one ends on, see, it actually says the end, 286. These are obviously 2 very different types of books, but I'm happy that I found 2 because it's nice to leave myself a little bit of leeway for what I'm in the mood for. I've noticed lately that I do want to mood read more than I have in the past, so I'm leaning into that. Cupid is the next reindeer on the list with 10 points. Read a book from an author that you have already given 5 stars. There are 2 books that I really want to read by the end of the year that are by authors that are newly published that I talked about in my last video that are by authors that I really enjoy. First one is the new Olga Tokarczuk book. I have put it on reserve at the library. I really don't know if it's going to come in time. It might not. If it doesn't, I was so fortunate. I walked into my library yesterday to return another book that I didn't have time to read, and on the shelf was Entitlement by Rumaan Alam. And so I'm probably going to read this, or again, if Olga Tokarczuk's book comes in, I will read it potentially, but I'm really excited to read this. It takes place in the pre-Trump era when the Obama administration was in office, and it's about this woman Brooke who is an assistant to a billionaire, and it's still billed as a psychological thriller. I don't really know too much about the plot, but I think the author is exploring themes of wealth and entitlement, and I think it'll be a really excellent read either way. I'm curious as to why Donner is worth 20 points. It's the only reindeer prompt that's worth 20 points. So clearly I need to read this book first if I want to up the points for my team. This is a really fun one because the prompt is read a book where the cover contains one of the first 4 words you see in the word search grid that's included with the prompts. I'll put it up here. Tell me in the comment section below which is the first word that you see in the word search. The first 4 words that I saw in order were jewelry, flame, planet, and battle. And boy, did I get excited when I saw planet. The reason I got so excited when I saw the word planet is that there's been a book on my TBR for a while that I really want to read that I haven't gotten to yet this year, and it has the word planet in the title. It's Becky Chambers, which I've never read anything by Becky Chambers before, and I've only heard really positive things about this book. So I'm super excited to read it, and given that this is the 20-pointer, it's going to be the one I'm starting with. The title is, of course, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Yay, I'm so excited. I don't know. I didn't do it on purpose. Like, that word just popped out to me. It's got to be fate. It has to be fate. Speaking of fate, the next prompt, Blitzen, which is worth 15 points, is to choose 3 books that start with the same, whose title starts with the same letter, and then randomly choose one of them to read. So in order to pick randomly, you can have someone choose for you. Given that my daughter is here, maybe that's the most appropriate thing for me to do. Would you like to choose this one for me? I mean, I had Nola choose one for me, which was, I have to say it was a lot more fun, but maybe to randomize it even further, let's have my daughter also choose one and see if she and Nola choose the same one. That will be really interesting.
So the comparison is between
the dog and the human. Okay, and then I don't know how we'll make the final choice. We'll see if they're the same or we'll see if they're different. Hey, you decided to come up during the filming of the video. Did you know you were going to be participating? No, but here we are. Would you prefer not to?
I can entertain your whims.
She's going to entertain my whims. I'm so excited. The 3 books that I chose that all start with the letter F, because I really want to read Fingersmith by Sarah Waters, but I also really want to reread Fall on Your Knees by Anne-Marie MacDonald, which, by the way, if Remember December was happening, this would be a reread. And then I also found Fates and Furies by Lauren Groff. I really enjoyed Lauren Groff's Matrix and wanted to read something else by her. I have heard mixed things about this one. I'm going to insert the footage right now of the one that Nola chose, and then we'll come back. We'll regroup, and we'll have my daughter choose one for me. Hi, Nola. Hello. Hi. Are you going to choose the book? Oh, no barking, please. Quiet. Stay. Are you going to choose my book for me? Thank you. Stay. Okay, that's fine. Stay there. Just a minute. Stay. Stay. Good boys. Okay, come. Choose a book. Oh, Fall on Your Knees. He chose Fall on Your Knees, guys. So now we know what Nola chose. Let's see what my daughter chooses for me. She's going to choose off camera. She prefers that. So what do you choose for me? It's not really random if someone chooses, but hey, I'm not here to be nitpicky.
Well, you talked about 2, and I have no idea what the only thing you said.
Oh, you want me to tell you what they're about? Oh, let me tell you what they're
supposed to.
No, allow me. Okay, so just to prime my daughter on what they're about, I apologize, everyone. The first is Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. This is set in the second half of the 1800s. It's about a girl who is orphaned, and she's kind of adopted into this strange family who gets her to pickpocket for them. So they're like a family of pickpocketers, and she becomes a pickpocketer. And I think it's like a positive experience that she has being adopted into this family. Wait, do you want me to read you the back?
No.
Okay, so that's the idea. And I've never read anything by Sarah Waters, but I've heard super good things about it. And it sounds really good. It sounds very moody. It's set in London, very Dickensian, yes. Fall on Your Knees is by the current writer in residence at your program, at your school, at McGill right now, who I'm waiting for on a signed copy from. This is her debut novel. I read it when it was published, I guess. I don't know when it was originally published.
In the 90s? Early 2000s?
Let me see. Originally published in 1996. Okay, so it's set in Cape Breton. and it takes place through World War I, emerging jazz scene in New York City, and it follows the family history of a family through the eyes of the Piper sisters. But it's also very feminist. So I think there's themes of midwifery, and Fall on Your Knees is a story of inescapable family bonds, of terrible secrets, and of miracles. And I'm from Nova Scotia, so I'm familiar with Cape Breton. And the last one, Fates and Furies by Lauren Groff, is about two sides of a relationship. I've heard mixed things about this. It's about Lotto and Mathilde, who are madly in love, and it's 10 years into their marriage, and their marriage isn't doing as well. And so I think this is about love and art and marriage. So which one do you choose for me, Eden, off camera?
Gee, I wonder if it will be the one
that Noli chose?
Well, I don't know if that's a positive for me or not.
Well, the way that I had him choose was with like treats.
No, I know, but is it in my best interest?
Well, it will make the choice easier for me. This is turning into a long video for no apparent reason.
I think you should read Fall on Your Knees.
Fall on Your Knees. So Eden chose Fall on Your Knees. You guys, guess which one Nola chose? Fall on Your Knees.
Oh, yeah.
So both Eden unknowingly chose Fall on Your Knees, and so did Nola. So it's a guarantee I'm going to be reading Fall on Your Knees, which I'm really excited about. I love this book so much. I remember loving it, recommending it, passing it on. I have had conversations with other friends when we're talking about books. They always say, oh, have you read Fall on Your Knees? Everybody knows about this book here, I feel like, in Canada. And most people, women of my generation, have read it and loved it. So I'm very excited to read it again. Well, that was really fun. Isn't that cool how that worked out? Mm-hmm. Last prompt to talk about is such a good one, may I say. Rudolph, 15 points, read a debut novel. So the debut novel that I would like to read is We Meant Well by Arum Shazia Hassan. I wanted to read this last year. I talked about it in my end of the year book tag. This is about a woman who wakes up in the middle of the night. She gets a call. It's about one of her colleagues who has been accused of assaulting a local girl in Lacanny, where they operate a charitable orphanage. So she has to hop on a flight. Our protagonist is Maya. She has to hop on a flight, sort this whole situation out, figure out whether the accusations have any merit or not. And it's about the misuse of power within charitable organizations. And I really want to read it. I've been wanting to read it for so long. So I definitely knew I would be choosing this as the debut. So that covers all of the books for the Reindeer Readathon. There are some bonus points. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'll let you peruse that on your own if you're going to participate. One of the bonus points, though, is Christmas Star. It's a bonus 25 points for reading a book that's over 500 pages. And Fall on Your Knees is quite a lengthy book. It's just over 500, so 540 pages. So if I read this in the month of December, I will be able to earn an extra 25 points for my team, which is super exciting. The other bonus is that if you complete all of the prompts, you get 50 points extra. Slaying it. That is really exciting. I hope I can do that for my team. So I might have forgotten to mention, but I am on Team Nutcracker, which is the same team that I was on last year in terms of Snowflake, Nutcracker, Candy Cane, all the names of the different teams. There is a Discord. I'm not sure how active I'll be on the Discord, but it's always fun. So yeah, feel free to join in if you want. If we're on the same team, tag me in a post or a video if you post on Instagram, or send me a message and let me know if you join up and you're on the same team, or let me know in the comments below if you end up being on the same team. That would be so exciting. My team leaders are Christine and Monique, and their channel is The Roomies Digest, which I'm definitely going to check out, because even though I've heard of them, I don't think I've ever really checked out their channel before. As you can see, I dressed up. I'm really excited. But in addition to that, the book club book that we're reading this month for December is Orbital. It won the Booker Award and I haven't read it yet. It's out in paperback here in Canada, so I was able to pick it up. I'm looking forward to reading this. I think it's going to be very good. I have heard some controversy about this one. I've heard that it's very pro-Russia, so let me know in the comments below if you heard anything like that. I just saw a few posts on social media that mentioned that it might be an unfair comment. I'm not sure. If you've heard anything, let me know. But I'm looking forward to reading it because so many people loved Orbital, and yeah, I'm curious. It's got a very pretty cover. I don't think it's very plotty. I think it's more conceptual, so we'll see what it has to offer. I don't know very much about it, and I'm happy to be going into it somewhat blind. And then finally, one book that I just really wanted to read this year. I've been wanting to read it since last year, so I'm hoping to fit it in along with the books that I've spoken about, is How to Say Babylon by Safia Sinclair. This book was longlisted for nonfiction for the Women's Prize this year, which is a new prize that they've introduced. And it's about a woman growing up in a very strict Rastafari environment. Her father was a strict Rastafarian, and it's about her experience growing up in Jamaica. So those are all the books that I'm hoping to get to in December. In terms of the channel, I'm doing my final edits on the college reading vlog, so that will be coming very soon. And I'm considering doing a few vlogs over the Christmas holidays. Every year since I've had my booktube channel, I've filmed 3 vlogs over the holiday season. I'm going to attempt to do that again this year. Maybe do some holiday vlogging along with holiday reading. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now. Is that Eden? Sweetie, I'm filming a video. Hey. Babe. Eden? Hello?
Hello.
I'm filming a video right now.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. I'm just letting you know. I'm in the middle of filming. Okay, so my daughter just came in my house. That means that Noah is going crazy. Do you want to come on or no? I'm doing my TBR for the Reindeer Readathon. You can be in the outtake if you want.
Oh, wow. I need to really lean in. Hello, I just woke up.
Hey, outtakes.
10
Oh no,
a.m.
the dog goes crazy every time Kate goes in the house. I'm sure my coffee's gonna get knocked over, the camera's gonna get knocked over. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm gonna take my little reindeer ears off because should I take them off? They're jingling and I'm not sure if that's gonna annoy people. Let's see how much jingling happens while I'm filming. The jingle is already beginning to annoy me, so let's see what happens as I play this video. So let's get into my picks for those prompts. I'm already holding my coffee. Was I holding my coffee in the first shot? I don't remember. The nonfiction book is Superfan by Jen. I always do this where I look at it as I'm saying the author's name.